And good evening, everyone. This is your host, MrDrew 76. We are back live. We are back live. It is Saturday, April 29th, 2023. We are back with another podcast. I tried another Drew cast. We are going to be talking this time about Star Wars. Basically, I'm going to just focus on the first three movies. This isn't going to be an in-depth review or anything like that. It's just going to be just a slight discussion about what I think of the movies, what you guys think, what you enjoy or don't enjoy, didn't enjoy about the first three trilogies. We'll talk about the other ones too. But mainly focus on this. Hello, Bloodstone. I would join in, but two things: I got a new mic, and I forgot. It's been a few years. Hey, there's a lot of things I'm gonna forget about it too, Blood. I actually was trying to watch the trilogy, but I just kept getting sidetracked. So trust me, I tried to watch some of it last night and this morning. I think I got halfway through episode three. But yeah, let's start off. Obviously, as we all know, in 1977, a young independent filmmaker by the name of George Lucas released an independent film known as Star Wars. Now, obviously, we all know the movie was a complete failure. But no, just watching back on it, one of the things I have noticed was, when you watch something again for like when you watch something that you haven't seen in a long time, you kind of get like a different perspective of like the movies. And after watching the first Star Wars, I'm halfway through Empires. Um, I have noticed one thing. I can understand why those movies now today watch them, why they were so popular. Um, Obviously, because the movies have about everything. I'm talking about the first three trilogies. They have sci-fi, action, drama, betrayal, romance. So that's what I can understand. But I will tell you this, guys, though. Do not watch those movies in 4K. Um, so obviously I'm watching them on Disney Plus. They're 4K. And you can definitely tell with the 4K, where the new special effects were added in. Like yeah, it is pretty jarring. So I can have some beer. Uh, so let's go with the first movie. Because that's the one I just recently watched, Star Wars. I love the opening of Star Wars, New Hope. I'm not talking about the text scroll. We all know that. But I just love how it starts with the action. You see the rebels trying to escape the Empire. You see the battles. Um, you really started to get like what you would call a idea of how things are, who the characters are. Like when you first meet Vader, it's obviously established from the beginning that this guy is not to be toyed with. I mean, the first thing you see him when he comes into the screen is just tall, tall, dark character, dressed in black, very intimidating. When he's first speaking, he's choking a guy trying to get the plans for the Death Star, which to me was very, very intimidating, very good. You meet Leia for the first time. You can tell Leia, who I've always thought was a great Star Wars character. tough, independent, and you can tell that in the first, like her first scenes when she's with Vader. She's like in his face, you know, defiant. Um, yeah, that is something that is definitely a. But yeah, that is something that's definitely about the movie. Everything about it. I have noticed one thing. A little bit. When you first meet Luke, he comes off, in my opinion, when you first meet Luke, he comes off very whiny. You know, the first thing you hear about him is, "Oh, I want to go to the Takashi station to pick up power converters." He's, kind of like almost spoiled. Like, I don't know if that was the idea that he would be spoiled. Yeah, yeah, very whiny. Um, but I love the interaction at the beginning between the droid C3PO RTD2 D2. That was really good. Um, he was very good. Yeah, and I think he needed to be that way at the beginning, so you could see his growth, like as a character. You know. Now I have to correct something really fast because I haven't seen the movie in a long time. I always made a joke that during the Death Star battle, right, that there is no way Luke Skywalker should have been in that battle. You know, I always, because it was kind of like, okay, this guy has no combat experience, nothing like that. Um, I forgot in the movie to mention that he's a pilot. Like he's a good pilot. Even and here's the thing though, they said, "Oh, he's a good pilot," blah blah blah, but they never show it. I wish they would have done that, like shown some him like flying a spaceship or something, not just flying that little air car. No, that would have. I think that would have helped if they would have shown that. But you know, another one of my favorite scenes is probably in the movie is the battle. Obviously, the Death Star battle, great scene. I'm going to throw this out right now. Disney Plus. We need a Porkins TV show. We need a Disney Plus Porkins show miniseries. Okay, because Porkins is a go. Oh, another thing I've also noticed about the first Star Wars movie, New Hope. Like I said, this is going to be me talking. D2 RTD2 is the MVP of that movie. Okay, he is the hero of that movie. Not Luke, not Han, not Leia. It's him. Let me tell you why. Because first of all, if he doesn't escape with those plans, the rebels are dead. And number two, if he doesn't save Luke, Han, and Leia from that garbage compactor, the movie's over. So right there, I'm saying he is the true hero of that movie. All right. He deserved a medal, not Chewie. Okay. I know people like to complain about that. Oh, Chewie never got a medal at the end. No, RT, he needs the medal. Absolutely. Um, Speaking of the movies, one of the I'm going to say what my two favorite scenes in all the original trilogies are, and that is number one and two, the fights between Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. Um, because if you look at both fights, they're both different. Like if you, this is my opinion. When you look at the first fight, Empire, obviously Vader is way more powerful, way more skilled. Okay, like Luke is just fighting to survive. Like he know. I think Luke knows he doesn't stand a chance. Okay, He's just there to, he's just trying to survive. Vader's just toying with him. Okay. Now you look at their second fight in Return of the Jedi. Luke, he's a little more skilled, a little more confident. Vader is still way more. I think Vader is still more powerful. But you see the difference in the fight. He's not, taking Luke out easily. Even Vader kind of has to like put a little effort in. Yeah, I love the trilogies. Empire, obviously, one of the out of the three, most people, and I agree, Empire is the best. In fact, let's talk about Empire a little bit. Well, like I said, we'll jump back and forth. Empire, I thought is really good, is because when that movie came out, if there was a sequel, usually the good guy still won. Okay, Superman 2, Superman still wins, etc., etc. Empire was the first movie, if you think about it, they lose. Like they technically lose that fight. You think about the rebellion. They're on the run the whole movie. Okay. You look what happens to Han. Han gets frozen, he gets captured, and you look at Luke. I think Luke's arc in that was very, very strange. I mean, no, I wouldn't say strange, but kind of tragic because, in Star Wars New Hope, he's told by Obi-Wan, hey, Vader killed your father. All right? Like your father, like he believes that. He believes, my father died in the Clone Wars. Vader killed him, and of course, we all know the scene. Vader reveals, "No, I am your father," and like his whole face, you can see that moment. When he screams, "No, that's not true. That's impossible." I always thought that scene was his faith being shattered. Well, not really shattered, but questioned because, now he has to be like, oh, everything Obi-Wan told me was a lie. He doesn't want to believe it, but I think deep down inside he does. He's like, oh yeah, I know. Now, did Obi-Wan lie to Luke? That's been a discussion. After watching the movie, after watching it again, when he says, from my point of view, I was telling you the truth. Yes, he was. Because you have to remember when Anakin becomes Darth Vader, it's almost like another personality. Like, yeah, Anakin's in there, but the Vader personality has completely taken over. There is no more Anakin Skywalker. Like, when you watch Empire and he's talking to the Emperor, the Emperor doesn't tell him to go get your son. He does not say that. He does not say, bring your son here. Bring him to the dark side. He refers to him as Anakin's son. Anakin Skywalker's kid. Like, even the Emperor is making reference that, yes, these are two separate people. Same body, different personalities. If that makes sense. I think that's what made Vader kind of a cool character. Like, people always say that, I've heard people say that, Vader wasn't really totally on the dark side. He wasn't completely evil. Yes, he was. Vader was 100% evil as a mofo. I mean, this was a guy at Empire that choked out one of his admirals just because he jumped out of light speed too quick. Like, he killed him just for that. okay, that isn't evil. No demotion. He's just like, you have failed me for the last time, and kills him. Does a force choke. You know. Now, speaking of Vader in the Star Wars movies, I've always wondered one thing. When it came to Leia, okay? Now, I know they don't reveal that Leia and Luke and them are related, but I've always wondered if Vader knew, like deep down inside, he just don't want to say anything, that Leia was his daughter. Because, Luke was, and obviously because it's Skywalker name, but I've always wondered that, like he knew, like some part of him knew Leia, that's my daughter, but yeah, Leia is very, yeah, I love the Leia character. Um, I think the Leia, that's something I liked about Star Wars. It's not only the Princess Leia character, but how they had strong men characters, strong female characters, but they were treated as equal. You know what I mean? Like when you watch the original Star Wars trilogy, you never felt like, at least I didn't feel, that Leia was a secondary character. Like she had to prove herself. You know, yeah, she had to prove herself as better, as good as the men, as better as the men. What about you guys? Okay, yeah. Oasis. No, dude. Sorry. We're not discussing that. Sorry, bro. I gotta remove. I gotta remove that. I gotta remove that, bro. No, I don't. We are not. I know what you mean, bro. But we are not. We are not bringing that up. Okay. I do not need YouTube to shadow ban this stream. Okay. Trust me. It's, don't take it personal. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. But yeah, we'll discuss that another time. Yeah, we had a joke about that a while ago. But no, that does bring up a good point about the Jedi and why. And this is why I think Luke was able to not go to the dark side. It's true. Yes, I know. Yes. But okay. But this is why I think Luke was able to, in the movie's continuity, why he resisted the dark side. I think it's because he was older. I think the fact that he was older and he knew how to deal with his emotions better. Like that's the fault with the Jedi. Let's face it, the Jedi is a cult. That's why you want them kids young. You want them young so they don't question authority. And I always thought that was the problem. That's why Anakin, and like I said, we'll jump into the movies. I think that's why Anakin turned to the dark side. I don't think he was taught properly when he became a Jedi how to handle those emotions. Because they always tell the young Jedi, don't give in to fear, darkness, hate, rage. But they never, I don't think they ever did it. That's why I'm a Sith Lord. But they never really discussed, like, hey, because let's face it, those emotions are natural. You know, that's not what we're talking. No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. We had a very long discussion about that. Like I said, I don't need, YouTube is very like on that kind of subject. I knew that you were going to bring that up, Oasis, you little bastard, that piece of shit. But yeah, I think that's why. I think because Luke was able to, like, in return, when he's getting angry, he's about ready to kill his father. He's able to, relax, hold, calm his emotions down. Well, I actually deleted the thing. I was like, no, it's all good, bro. It's all good. I'm going to ask you guys a question. In the trilogy, original trilogy, who is your favorite Star Wars? Who's your favorite character in the trilogy? Okay. It could be a minor character, a major character. Um, no character I really liked, and I'm gonna draw. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna draw a blank on this. I'm gonna have to look him up. Um, I should have to look. I forgot the guy's character. Oh, Grand Moff Tarkin. Tarkin. I liked Darth Vader. Yeah, I like Tarkin. Yeah, we're back on the subject. It's all good. It's all good, Mama Drew. All right, just you drop it. It's no problem. I liked him. I always thought he was like a good because to me, Lord Vader. Well, to me, he was just as evil as Vader. Remember, in A New Hope, he's the one that suggested to blow up Alderaan. It wasn't Vader. He was like, "Oh, the princess doesn't want to talk. Okay, we'll threaten to blow up to blow it up." You know, and he's the one that when she doesn't, after that shit happens, Alderaan blows up and everything. Remember, if you watch the movie, he's the one that tells Vader, "Oh, she's not going to talk. Kill her. She's useless. She ain't going to give up the information. Have her executed." So he was always my, like to me, like Vader is like, "Yeah, I will choke you out, evil." But Tarkin, he's like, "Dude, I will blow up a whole planet and sleep peaceful tonight." Tarkin is bad as Vader. Yeah. That's why I was saying earlier that the whole like Vader knowing Leia is his daughter because he doesn't immediately kill her. He could have been like, "Oh, okay, yeah, like that." Now with Leia, I still believe this is my opinion with the character. I don't think she should ever got Han Solo. He's good. I don't think she should have had Force powers. Obviously, she gets them in the later trilogies. And the reason why is not because, oh, women can't have the Force. Blah, blah, blah. I thought she was a good enough character, a strong enough character that she didn't need it. She didn't need Force powers. Literally, well, talking really wasn't bad as all anything. Remember, he was very human. He was following the chain of command. He's very militant. Not bad. He's just doing his job. Tarkin. Now, if you want to talk about us, like I said, we're going to go back and forth. If you want to talk about a Star Wars character who, on the Empire side, who's a complete badass, we got to go with Thrawn. Okay, let's be honest. If Thrawn was in New Hope, if he was direct in the military during that Battle of the Death Star, the rebels wouldn't have stood a chance. Like me, that's why I cannot wait for that Ahsoka series, bringing him back because that dude is a badass. God, you gotta like that guy is probably one of the smartest military commanders in the world. Yes, I know my thing kind of like oops a little bit, but yeah, he that's the guy that would have been that if he was in the Star Wars New Hope Empire, totally different. Now, Lord Sidious is one running everything from his little chair, so it comes down to he's the most. Yeah, he's just like I ain't gonna get up. You know what's amazing about that? About the Emperor, how does that dude not get fat? Because all he did was sit in his chair. Okay, the Emperor should have been like 500 pounds. He just sat all day. I don't know if there's like force workout. Can you imagine that a fat Emperor? Now, I'm not going to discuss too much of Return because I haven't seen Return of the Jedi in a long time. Obviously, I think the weakest of the three. Like I said, there's great moments. Discussed earlier the final battle between Luke and Vader. Great. I thought that scene was really good. You know, the emotions, everything about it. Um, but yeah, there was some parts that were like obviously the Ewoks. Now, let's face it, the Ewoks were made to sell toys to kids. It's not freaking kid ourselves. But that ending, and it's I've always thought the ending, um, where Vader finally turns on the Emperor, throws him down the pit. Now let's face it, the dude's dead. Okay, he's dead. He's not coming back. Screw the new trilogy. Um, I've always thought the idea of like, okay, he finally becomes good. Luke is getting electric shock therapy. He's standing there. It was like one of those things where it's like, yeah, I could fuck with my kid. I can beat my kid up all day. I could smack him around, but that's still my kid. I still love him. You're not going to touch him. You're not going to kill him. But yeah. Oh God. Like I said, I should have been a little more prepared. I've been so busy. Or Sidious was everything from his little. But like I said, I'll tell you what, guys. Do not what. You know what I wish I still had? I wish I never got rid of these. I wish I still had I used to have, well, it was actually my mom's copies, but we used to have the original VHS copies of the Star Wars trilogy before Lucas came in, did all the special effects. Those were great. That's a question I got for you guys. What do you think of the add-ons for Star Wars, the special effects? Obviously, was it 1997, 98? They re-released the movies. They added on the special effects. Now, for me, some were good, and I think some were necessary. Because obviously, if you watch the original trilogies in its original form, some of the special effects were kind of like, especially today's standards, were like, eh. Now, there's some things I do like about the changes. Um, One, I like the fact that they put if you watch Empire and he's talking to the Emperor, it's a totally different actor. Can't remember his name. Obviously, they change it and they bring in the guy who played in the trilogies. I thought that was a good addition. Made it look the continuity a little more better. Do not like the fact that they replaced Anakin at the end of Return. I still say it should have been older Anakin. That's how he died. He died an old man. That's how it should have been. Obviously, they added the end scene, Return. They go to the planets, change the music up. I wasn't a fan of that. I was not a big fan of that idea. I think they should have the ending of Star Wars Return of the Jedi. I think that's one thing they should have left. Now, why did the rebellion fail? Okay, I want to discuss that. Why did the rebellion fail? Because at the end of Return of the Jedi, obviously the Emperor's dead, Vader's dead. They blow up the third Death Star. They make it seem like the Empire is finished. No more Empire. Bye bye. Empire's adios. See you later. Arrivederci. Here's the problem that they didn't discuss: loyalty. That is why the Empire survived. One, even if the Emperor's dead, even if Vader's dead, you still have people loyal to that cause. do or die. They're going to be loyal to that. And number two, power. Okay. Just because you got to realize the emperor dies, guess what? There's going to be someone that hiding in the shadows, waiting to take their place. Okay. Like I think what the Rebel Alliance should have done is taken down the Empire from the bottom. Okay. You take away their support. You take away their loyalty. You convince more people that the Empire's bad. We got to get rid of them. Because think about it, there's people in that galaxy the Empire probably didn't even bother them. They didn't even care. Hey, I do my thing, you do your thing. The Empire doesn't bother us. Why should we care? That was a problem. Like, instead of like, okay, they beat the Empire, they beat not the Empire, they evolved the Death Star. Instead of celebrating, they should have been immediately like, okay, we got rid of the Emperor. Now, obviously, they didn't get rid of the Sith. That is one thing Luke should have known. Or somebody should have told Luke. Like Obi-Wan or Yoda should have told Luke, hey, look, just because you kill the Emperor, you get rid of Vader, you're not getting rid of the Sith. Because what's the rule of the Sith, ladies and gentlemen? There's always two. That's why I think they should have done that. As soon as they beat the Emperor, they should have immediately been like, okay, we can't celebrate yet. We got to get rid of the generals, everything, generals, admirals, any place that is like, yo, we're pro Empire. We need to stop that. We need to stop the propaganda right now. That's, I think, what happened. I think they just got like, oh yeah, the Empire's dead. Yeah, no problem. Now, let's talk about Mama Drew said Han Solo was her favorite character. He was a good character. I think Han Solo definitely had a huge growth in the movie. You meet him in Star Wars. Yes, he has he's not totally evil, but he's not really down for the cause. Like, obviously, when you first meet him, he's a pirate, he's a smuggler, he's in it for himself, right? He's going out and he's is like, yeah, I will take out, I'll take you guys to Alderaan, but I want money. No, he's not doing it for the goodness of his heart. No, at the end of that movie, you do see us, you kind of see he's not such a bad guy. Because, during the movie, they get captured by the Death Star. He's just like, yo, I want my ship. I want out of here. Remember, he agrees to save Princess Leia because Luke tells him, oh, she's rich. She can pay you. He's like, oh, how rich. That, and obviously at the end of the movie, you think he leaves. He takes his money. He's like, I am out. Of course, he comes back, and if he doesn't come back, Luke is dead. And you kind of, Empire, he's there, and people say, and the whole thing of him being there is he's in hiding. He owes Jabba a bunch of money, but I always thought that he could have hid anywhere. I think he was with the rebels at the beginning of the Hoth planet because he's like, you know what? I kind of like these guys. They're good to me. They're good people. And obviously, Return of the Jedi, you see his full transformation from smuggler to a rebel fighter. He's there for the cause. Obviously, I think he was, and it's probably because like, yeah, these guys saved my life. From Jabba. That's what I think. So I definitely think he had the biggest character. Now, that's what I think. And yes, Han shot first. Let's not even think of anything different. Han absolutely shot first. Okay, that speaking of going back to the original trilogies, that is one thing these should not have changed. When he meets Greedo, obviously if you watch the remastered version, they make it so Greedo shoots him and Han shoots back. No, they needed to keep that like that to show you the growth I was talking about. They needed to show you that, yeah, Han is out for himself. Han will shoot you before you shoot him. What do you guys think? What is your guys' favorite? I got a question. What is your favorite Star Wars? And this can be from any movie. Doesn't have to be the original trilogy. What is your guys' favorite scene from Star Wars? Um, I'm going to say it, and this is not from this is from the prequels. I love the Duel of the Fates battle. I thought that was one of the best battles out. Obi Wan Kenobi. God, I forgot his name. Liam Neeson's character versus Darth Maul. I love that scene. What about you guys? What is your favorite scene? That's why he's my favorite. Just waiting to see if anybody responds. Yeah, like this. I think this will be a short podcast. I'm tired, running around all day. Yeah, I love that scene. Oh shit. Also, I want to know what it not only is your favorite Star Wars moment, what is your favorite Star Wars movie series? Like I said, looks. I don't care. I'm gonna have to say, what's been my favorite Star Wars series to watch, and I've watched this multiple times. Yes, it's a kid show, but I love Rebels. I think Star Wars Rebels is an amazing series. I need another beer. Yeah, I love Rebels. Yeah. All right. Not gonna lie, if more people don't jump in the stream, I might just end this early. 'Cause, I want a discussion with you guys. I want to talk Star Wars. You know. I haven't seen much of the Disney stuff. Yeah, there's some decent stuff. Mandalorian, I know Mandalorian is good. I don't care what anyone says. Season 3, this last season, was good. The hell with everybody. Oh, it sucked. It was boring. No, it was good and it served a purpose. It served the purpose of letting people of bringing in the whole Ahsoka series, because that's what that season was about. It was about talking about Thrawn, about his return. And I know a lot of people were disappointed. They didn't do a teaser of Thrawn. It's like, no, you save that for Ahsoka. But yeah, I love the last season. Bad Batch. If you ever get a chance, Bad Batch is really good. That is a really good show. If you guys don't know, Bad Batch is about it takes place right after Order 66 and is about a group of clones that are defects, and so they don't when the order is told their chips malfunction, and it's like them trying to escape from the empire. That's a really good show. I think it bounced. Okay. What do you guys? Anything you guys want to discuss about Star Wars? You guys want to ask me any questions? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna admit this podcast didn't go as planned, but I know I have fun. Um. Well, while we're taking a break, I'm gonna let people know what's happening next week. Next week's schedule is gonna go back to normal. Monday, Monday, I'm doing Zelda. For Tuesday, I'm doing Little Nightmares, and I'm still debating. I got a couple suggestions for Thursday. Um, what I want to do for Thursday. Like, let me put a poll up. All right. Put a little poll up for anybody in the chat of what I should stream. We have Lego Star Wars, Recore, and Ghostwire Tokyo. But we'll let that go for a minute. So yeah, one vote for Lego Star Wars. Obviously, that will be the Skywalker saga. Oh shit. Um, you know what? We've been doing. Yeah. Apologize, but yeah, I think I'm gonna cut this now. 'Cause the idea of sorry, I should have been a little more prepared, but if nobody's here, and I'm not blaming anybody. It's nobody's fault. I know people have shit to do, but yeah, I think I'm gonna cut this street. I'm gonna cut this podcast short. You know, I appreciate everyone who stopped by. But yeah, I'll try to do better next time. But until then, I will be back Monday with the finale of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. But until then, my name is MrDrew76, saying have a nice day.